Hi, everybody. Welcome. So, I guess you can figure out by the title, this is not going to be a nice react. I'm in a mood, and I woke up today and I chose violence. Not violence against myself. No, not me going out and hurting somebody physically. I'm just in a mood to go off on Chantal for a whole lot of reasons. So, she did a video called Double Cheeseburger, Crunchy Onion Rings, and Dip and Chicken Tenders Mukbang. And I got a whole lot to say about a whole lot of things. So I'm just going to let go. I'm not going to monetize this video. I don't want YouTube telling me what to do today, making me use code words. Screw a bunch of that crap. I'm just going to let go. Before we get started, though, because I care about anybody who watches my videos, I'm just going to let you guys know right now. If you're someone and you are very sensitive to topics revolving around eating disorders, please don't watch this video because there's going to be a lot of talk about that, amongst other things. So if there's anything out there that might trigger you in some way, you're very sensitive to it, this video is not for you because I'm just going to unleash on Foodie today. I am absolutely going to unleash. Just going to let go. Money be damned. Don't care. Not today. Not today, Foodie. Not this day. And apologies for anyone who comes to my channel and you come to me because I'm calm and you like that. Sometimes I just got to let go. Sometimes it just has to happen. You just got to let the anger out for all the right reasons, and then you put it back in the cage and then it's over with. So, what are we doing today? Well, let's catch up. Let's catch up by going over some things that have happened. So I'm sure a lot of you already know that YouTube is changing its policies about what they will allow for content, what's okay to monetize and what's not okay. Well, the policy that they're going to enact as of November 1st is that if you're someone and you have binge eating disorder, any eating disorder, and you put a video on YouTube glorifying it, they're like, no, we're not paying you for that. And this is something that should have happened a long time ago, in my opinion. But let's go further. Let's broaden that out a bit. In my opinion, YouTube should not be allowing any content where somebody is being harassed or harmed, whether you're hurting or harassing another person or yourself. They should just go across the board with it. So anything that involves other people or yourself being negatively affected, YouTube just say, nope, we're not paying for that. We're not going to encourage that through profit. Nope. But for the many years, YouTube has been allowing Chantal to have her problem and profit off her problem. She's made thousands and thousands of dollars off her problem. And now that YouTube is saying no more of this, she's freaking out. She's absolutely freaking out. And worse, not only is she freaking out, she's actually trying to find a workaround about how she can keep on with her kind of content. She's looking for the loopholes. So YouTube is saying no more mukbangs. If you have an eating disorder, which she does, and it's documented because many times she has told us she's got binge eating disorder. She's made all kinds of videos talking about it when it suits her, to not just share the information that she has it, but to also use it to garner sympathy from people. And then the next minute, glorifying her problem by doing a binge and calling it a binge on camera. And by the way, y'all, she's still got videos on her channel with the word binge. She hasn't gotten rid of them. So talking about the fact that she has binge eating disorder. Yeah. And she's freaking out because YouTube is putting the kibosh on that and saying no more. You got a problem with food. We're not going to allow you to hurt yourself on camera and pay you for it. And she actually has the nerve, the gall, the audacity to get on camera and say, hey, YouTube, you can't tell me what to do. That's discriminatory. No, it's not. No, it's not. It's just YouTube getting smart and saying, we don't want to pay you for this. YouTube is a private company. Daddy YouTube and Daddy Google can make the rules as they please. They can make up any rule they want about what's monetized. Even if they made a ridiculous rule that nobody understands, such as, we're not going to monetize videos if you're wearing the color blue with a red necktie. If that's the rule, that's the rule. It's their company. They can do that if they want to, and we'd all have to adhere to it. So if YouTube says you can't do this because if you do, we're not paying you for it, it is what it is. You got to obey the rules. Foodie's all kinds of angry about that. She's saying it's discriminatory. She's also claiming that if YouTube shuts her down on that, she actually tried to do the manipulating guilt trip of, YouTube, if you don't allow me to do this, you're only going to make my problem worse. Foodie, you had a problem with food even before YouTube, years before, when you were in your teens. Your family sent you to a treatment center. Unfortunately, it wasn't dealt with. So it's not YouTube's fault. And it's not YouTube's responsibility if this problem continues. You are the person. It's your responsibility as an adult to fix the problem. All hurts are meant to be healed, whether they're small or great. You don't want to heal your problem. You want to profit off your problem. You want to get sympathy for your problem. It's not the way you handle things. Not at all. How dare you try to guilt trip YouTube and manipulate YouTube into letting you continue to hurt yourself and get paid for it? How dare you? How dare you? How could you? You shouldn't be on YouTube doing that. Do any other kind of content, but anything revolving around food. And do you honestly think that YouTube is going to pay you if you try to find a workaround? Do you think the workaround that you got planned where you'll do cooking videos, that's going to be the workaround that's going to be successful? It ain't. There's too many videos out there you talking about your binge eating disorder. So if you find a workaround where you cook the food and then you eat the food, that's not going to work either. They're not going to put up with it. And by the way, YouTube, can we talk? You have a drop-down menu on videos of things you can report on. Are you going to add binge eating disorder or eating disorder to that drop-down menu because you don't have it there yet? So you're making a rule and you've got a drop-down menu on videos to report, but that's not in there. So if somebody is breaking the rules and hurting themselves on camera or hurting another person, where is it in the drop-down menu? Shouldn't you be working on that? Yeah, I think you should. Anyway, something else I want to talk about before we get into this. Another reason why I'm all fired up. So on Foodie's video, her food video, there was a comment left by one of her subscribers that I have the screenshot. I'm not going to show it. But after I read it, I was all kinds of fucked up. I was literally like, I felt sad and disturbed. I'm not going to say the person's name, not going to show the comment. Trust me, it was there. It's not there anymore. But one of Foodie's subscribers left a comment saying if they watched Foodie and they've been dealing with anorexia for the last 35, 36 years, and this person watches Foodie and starving themselves for her. As you guys know, I dealt with BED for 6 years, stuck on that roller coaster. This is not about me. I'm just saying where I'm coming from reading that comment. When I read that comment, it hurt my soul to know that somebody was going through that had been going on for that long. And knowing that person was watching Foodie and that was happening, I would like to say this to that person, to anybody out there, that you're going through it. There's something wrong. There's something giving you tremendous hurt. You have an obsession. You have some sort of addiction. You have some sort of disorder. Please, I beg you, please get help. Please. There are people out there, there are resources out there that can and will help you. Whatever you're going through, you don't have to go through it alone. Don't be afraid or embarrassed to reach out for help. There's no shame or embarrassment in trying to get help. It helps to at least let the people around you know that you're going through something and you feel overwhelmed. Whoever you are out there, you are somebody's mother or sister or aunt or uncle or son or daughter. Life is worth living. It is. It's worth living. It's worth trying. Don't be afraid. Reach out. Even if you're someone in your remote area and there are no static locations that you can go to, there are online resources, there are hotlines. Call somebody, tell somebody. Don't go through it alone. Take the steps towards healing. Don't feel like you have to do it by yourself. I saw that comment and I thought, this is an example of why Foodie should be the fuck off YouTube. Why she shouldn't have a channel, because she is misusing the privilege. And it is a privilege. It's not a right. By the way, Foodie, it's a privilege. It's a privilege to get on YouTube. It's a privilege to have a channel and share your content with people and reach out to people and talk to people. You've been abusing your privilege for years. Watching your content is a very reason why I became a reactor, because I saw what you were doing and I thought, this is wrong. What you're doing to yourself is wrong. That's why I started reacting to you. And I've been calling you out ever since, me amongst other people. It's wrong. Now you're freaking the fuck out because YouTube is saying, we're not going to pay you to be an addict on camera and find enablers and find funders to this crap. No, ma'am. Not cool. Now you're trying to find workarounds. Now you're trying to say it's discriminatory. No, it's not. There's no discrimination involved in stopping an addict from continuing a toxic system where they come on camera and they do the source of their addiction in full view of the public that doesn't need to see that, and expecting the public to pay. No one should be paying for that. That is something that needs to be healed. So go ahead and yell and scream like a toddler, Foodie. Go ahead and protest. You won't win that. Private company who made their own rules, you have to follow. Same as anybody else. Do you understand? Daddy YouTube makes the rules. You have to follow. You don't like it? Go somewhere else. Find another way to make that money. Find another platform. Go onto an adult site that features that kind of content where it'll be more private if you want to continue. YouTube ain't putting up with it. And all I got to say to that is hallelujah. It's about time. Although I do find it suspicious that YouTube allowed that content as long as it was making them money. People reported her videos. She was breaking every terms of service ever. They took her channel away and gave it back, which is unheard of. But you know what, YouTube? It took you a long time. You turned the blind eye to her for the longest. But things have changed. Now you're fixing it. Good. Good. Nobody needs to see this kind of content. Nobody needs to have that feeling they can get on YouTube and turn their addiction or obsession or disorder into profit. It's one thing to talk about things in an educational way. It's another thing to use it to sit there and glorify it and make it seem okay in front of the fucking public. Not okay, YouTube. Not okay. Anyway, tell you what. Let's go all over to Twitter. I just got a few things that I want to show you guys on Twitter before we get into the actual video. Okay, just a few things. So here is my Twitter for anybody who's interested. It's Wild Girl Sarah. Okay, this is the first tweet from Draven. Draven says Chantal claims she doesn't binge on her channel, but her videos used to include the word binge right in the title. She changed them recently, but searching binge still brings them up. Here are just the first four results. Yeah, I've done that too. I actually went to her channel and looked to see if there were any videos using the word binge. There's 4 results right there. So here's something interesting of note. Back in the day, Foodie used to use the word binge a lot in her titles. But then when YouTube started to kind of crack down on that, using the word binge because that's harmful, suddenly she came up with the word bees. Everything became bees. Now, the word bees in her world means misbehaving. But anybody who's been watching Foodie for the longest, they knew what the word bees meant. It could be her doing drugs on camera. Most likely, it would involve her eating food, binging out. So she found a workaround. When she could no longer use the word binge to get views and get attention, she used the word bees because that was a word that YouTube did not have in their alarm list. But even now, years later, we still have these videos where she's using the word binge. Does she want to talk about discriminatory? Nah, look over there. Still using that word to get attention, to get views, to signal people to come and watch her. Nobody should be watching that crap. Nobody. But there you go. Y'all are seeing it. I have binge eating disorder. What I ate in a day in binge eating recovery. You're exploiting it. You're glorifying it. This shouldn't be glorified at all. Any obsession, any addiction, it's your own personal private hell. It sucks so bad. You feel like you're on a roller coaster and you don't know how to get off. Hence the reason why there's nothing wrong with asking for help. Sometimes you feel overwhelmed. Sometimes you feel trapped. And you try to deal with it alone. But you don't have to. You don't have to deal with it alone. No one's going to yell at you for asking for help for anything. No shame. But she should be ashamed. 1 minute talking about having binge eating disorder and getting sympathy for talking about it. The next minute she's putting the tags on her videos talking about being obese, glorifying her size. Not that there's anything wrong with being obese. Lots of people are. but she just keeps flip-flopping back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. I have this thing that's wrong with me, but I'm going to put titles on my videos to signal the feeders to come and watch me and give me money. You see what's wrong with that? I see a lot wrong with that. That shouldn't be happening either. Feeders coming to YouTube and looking for people to sub to and encourage them to make themselves unhealthy for their fetish and their benefit. Fuck those people. Okay, so here's one from, is it Craterface, Pondu, and Jules? So I'm just showing this picture right here. Foodie's done a lot of talk recently about her deceased grandmother Sorrow. She's bringing her up a lot, and she's doing that for sympathy. She went for the longest without talking about her grandmother, but she's looking for sympathy points. How much she loved her grandmother, although she was talking in graphic detail about Grandma Sorrow and her death. And that did not need to happen in a live stream. Some things are just best kept private, out of respect for that loved one who has just passed. But for anybody who wants to see what she was wearing to the funeral, there you go. That's what she wore to Grandma's funeral. And that was about the same time that she was still involved with Natter, and she couldn't be bothered to go see Grandma when she was very, very ill. And she took a selfie with Grandma and posted it on social media when she should have kept that private too. She talks about private moments. That was one that should have been kept really private, out of respect for Grandma. On the night of her funeral, she was talking about OnlyFans, and she was high off her rocker. She didn't care about Grandma. All she cared about was exploiting her grandmother's death, giving those alligator tears. She wasn't there for her mother to comfort her after her grandmother's passing. She didn't go to her mother's house and say, "Mom, I'm here. Do you need me? Are you okay? Is there something I can do for you? Do you need me to cook for you, clean for you, just sit and hold your hand?" She didn't care. All she cared about was hanging out with Natter, making sure she was right next to Natter so he didn't run off and go be with another woman. But that's what she was wearing to the funeral, right there. Nice, Foodie. Nice way to be respectful to Grandma, showing up looking like that. Anyway. Oh, thank you, Perfectly Imperfect. Whew, this happened. This was the night, I believe, when Chantal was her grandmother passing. Look at her. She's high. She's high as a kite. Perfectly Imperfect says he's not wrong. Here she is talking about showing her vag on OnlyFans while laughing about being in mourning. So for anybody out there who, on Foodie's side, that might be coming over here, and you're welcome to come over here, but I'll tell you what, you get in my comments right now and you try to defend this, you're going to lose. This was the night that her grandmother passed away. She's high as a kite, talking about OnlyFans. Look, and laughing about being in mourning. And I'm showing this to show all of you over there that all these sadness about Grams is bullshit. Bullshit. So let's watch this. And this is also courtesy of Funkle Fester. Credit goes to Perfectly Imperfect and Uncle Fester.
Yeah, but I don't know, like, what?
Some people have full-on sex videos on OnlyFans.
So it's like, okay, I have a question. Do you think I will make any money on OnlyFans if I show my vagina? For real, don't just butter me up. Shit, do you think my grandmother can hear what I do now? I show everything and do everything. But I know a lot of people who just do lingerie make a lot of money. Yeah, but I don't know, like, what?
Some people have full-on sex videos on OnlyFans.
So it's like a porn site.
Like that ever bothered you. You've done porn stuff on YouTube, showing us every part of your body we did not ask to see. Flashing yourself multiple times, wearing short dresses with no underwear, and then jumping around to make sure that everything showed. But this clip was taken when her grandmother died. I can't relate. I just can't. Who does this shit? Who talks about OnlyFans the very night that your grandmother is gone? Foodie. And I've always found her fucking disgusting because she will exploit and talk about anything and everything if it means she gets some sympathy or views or money. She will exploit what's wrong with her. She will exploit what's wrong with other people. She will exploit her pets. She'll exploit all her problems, including STDs. Can't relate to that shit. But her grandmother, her own grandmother, her relative, her blood, exploiting her grandmother's death, putting on the alligator tears, exploiting her death for sympathy. And here we are. She's in Thailand, bringing up grandma again. Why? Sympathy. She wants everybody to feel sorry for her. Oh, I'm missing my grandmother. I'm missing my cats. YouTube's being unfair. They're being bullies. Going for the sympathy. Nobody cares, Foodie. You got yourself in quite the mess. Now you have to get yourself out. YouTube isn't taking your channel away. They're not saying you can't make any more videos. They just said you can't exploit what's wrong with you for profit any longer. And the argument that you're trying to put up in front of everybody is everybody has to eat. You're right. Everybody does have to eat, but if you got a problem with food, you shouldn't be eating on camera. You should keep that off camera. And you can be more mindful of what you eat. You're not treating it as a show. You can maybe go get therapy and get some help, as you should. Stop glorifying it. Stop hurting yourself on camera and putting videos out there where other people are watching you and you're drawing people to you that they're hurting themselves too. Again, anybody out there watching her video, watching my video, disorders, obsessions, addictions, there's something seriously wrong. Please seek help. I urge you and I beg you to seek help. And it's okay to ask for help. It's okay to reach out to somebody, even just to let somebody around you know something is wrong. Life is worth it. Life is worth living. If you're in a tremendous amount of pain, somebody somewhere can help. Find that person and get help. Don't watch this beast destroy herself and think it's okay. It's not okay. It's not. But this is her after her grandmother passed. Talking about OnlyFans. Really? I'm sorry, I can't relate to you. My grandmother passed and I was crying my eyes out. I wasn't talking about OnlyFans, girl. Something's wrong with you. All right. Moving on. Let's go on to the food video. Let's do that. Yeah, I'm going to go the fuck off on her today. I am. I'm in a mood. Not on any of my subscribers. Not mad at y'all at all. I'm just in a mood to just let go. So we are. Let me get past off her ridiculous cameo bullshit. Nobody cares to buy a cameo from you, Foodie. Except for the feeders. Let's do this.
Thanks, guys.
Shut up.
Hi, guys. Hello. Welcome back to another video. So today I am eating some halal food, halal fast food here in Bangkok, Thailand. I am having...
And Foodie thinks she's so incredibly slick thinking she'd do a video like this, and she thinks all I have to do is cut down the amount of fast food and they can't call it a binge. I won't get in trouble for this. Still trying to find that workaround, aren't you, foodie? Still trying. Oh, it's a small amount of food, therefore it's not a binge. Let me tell you something, Big Mama. You got an issue with food. You're not in therapy. You're not talking to people. So whether you do it on camera or off, you've still got a problem. It needs to be treated. And your little attitude recently of saying like, YouTube can't do this to me. They're discriminating. And if they cut me off from showing it on camera, it's their fault. If I have an eating disorder, is bullshit. You got a problem, you treat the problem yourself. Don't blame anybody who's a viewer. Don't blame YouTube. Don't blame anyone. You care about it enough, get help. Fix it. Don't look at YouTube and say, well, this is how I make my money. And I want to continue to be a glutton on camera and I want you to allow it. They don't have to allow it. I'm glad they're not going to allow it anymore. I'm sick of watching you eat. I'm sick of you glorifying this shit. It's ridiculous. It's wrong. And that's coming from somebody who had BED. You know what? Technically speaking, I still have it. Because once you're an addict of something, you're always an addict. You're either on the recovery side of the fence or you're not, but you are still technically an addict. Because if you fall off the horse, you could be on the other side real fast. So I still have BED. I'm in recovery. And I'm saying to you, from someone who's been there, this shit is wrong. You should not be getting on camera and eating anything. You should be doing other kinds of content. Period. Still trying to find that workaround though. Still eating the fast food, which you've said is your trigger food. You said fast food triggers you, so why the fuck are you eating it on camera? Why? Knowing what it's going to lead to. Because you're not just going to stop here. It's going to lead to more and more and more, and your health is going to get worse. What you going to do? You're going to blame everybody else for your health problems? Nobody controls what goes in and out of your mouth. So how can you blame any other person for anything that's wrong with you when you are an adult and you're in full control of yourself? Although the problem is you're not in control, you're out of control. And you want to justify being out of control, and you want to profit off of being out of control. You want to do this shit? Go somewhere else and do it. A private forum. Tell those people who want to watch this to go somewhere else and watch you, because this ain't cutting it. I'm going to tell you guys something. And I've been feeling this way for years. Seeing the kind of content that she's doing, that she's been doing, I've always felt a sense of fear about knowing that there are people that get on YouTube and they're looking around at YouTube and saying, how do I make a successful channel on YouTube? And they might look at a big channel like hers and see what she's doing. And they might say to themselves, she's got a really big channel and people are watching. Look at all the views. Maybe I should do what she's doing. It looks simple enough. Just get on camera and eat some fast food, right? How easy is that? And they might start up a channel and they might follow in her footsteps. And it might lead to health problems for that person. I'm saying it publicly and I'm saying it now. Nobody, no one should do what she's doing. Because it looks simple, but it's not. No one should do anything on YouTube where it means you're hurting yourself. Because when it comes to life, you pay now or you pay later. And she's had all kinds of consequences for her actions. She can barely breathe. She can barely move. She got all kinds of health problems. She's got non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. She has diabetes. Her liver is 3 times the size of normal. There's all kinds of things wrong with her from her lack of health care. Nobody should do this. There's a lot of people now in the world. They're looking for something to be famous and go viral. Some people chose an extreme means. So for anybody out there watching Foodie, looking at her channel, saying, I want a channel that size too. Whatever it is you are, if you have a talent, if you can sing, if you can dance, you can paint, you can write, there's something in you that you just want to share with people and it's positive, I encourage that. I think that's great. Find positive means to make a channel and put stuff out there, but don't use negative means like this. This is bad. This is really bad. And YouTube is about to cut her off anyway, so she's freaking out. And she should freak out. Because she's an addict who does not want to cure her addiction. She's not interested. She can't even use the excuse of, well, if I change my content, I'm going to lose all my people. No, you won't. Hungry Fat Chick has changed up her content and people are behind her 100,000%. They're staying behind her. They're giving her the encouragement. I applaud that. I really do. I'm so happy about that. Good on you, Candy. Good on you, ma'am. But this one is determined to keep on the path that she's on, to the point where she's trying to find some fucking workarounds. Loopholes. Always looking for the loopholes. But never choosing the right path, Foodie. Never. Always trying to include the source of your addiction in with your content. You shouldn't be doing that. It's bad for you, and it's bad for people who are watching you. It's not good for anybody to look at. You want to eat? Do it off camera. No one's saying you can't have a meal. What YouTube is saying, you can't gorge yourself on camera and expect us to pay you. That's all they're saying. But you don't want to hear that. You want to get paid to hurt yourself on camera. Nobody should watch this crap.
Having a double burger, double barbecue cheeseburger, and I'm having some onion rings and some chicken strips. So, bismillah. And I have some chili sauce for the chicken strips. And this here is like my new favorite drink from 7-Eleven. It's All You Need, it's called. Vitamins and fiber, 10,000 milligrams of fiber, no cane sugar added. Just for
Why is she reading the ingredients? Why do the ingredients matter all of a sudden? She's trying to act like, I'm doing a healthy meal, YouTube. Look at me. I've got this fast food burger and here's this healthy drink. So it's a healthy video. No, it ain't. You've got binge eating disorder. You should not be eating on camera, Foodie. Period. You've got 1 month, 30 days to figure something else out. That's a good amount of time, isn't it? To start finding other things to talk about, other things to do. I think that's reasonable. Find some other way to make money on YouTube. There's tons of ways to do it, positive ways. But sitting there reading the ingredients on a bottle, oh, this got vitamin A and vitamin C. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. You're not doing correct mukbangs, ASMR mukbangs. You shouldn't be doing mukbangs, period. It's too late. You're not just a regular mukbanger coming on camera and eating a meal for the camera, and once you turn the camera off, you're fine. You have binge eating disorder, bitch. You have it. You got an extreme case of it. You need to have it treated. You need inpatient, because that's the only way the treatment is going to work, is if you're put somewhere and you are monitored and you can't do any kind of sneak eating and you can't have your way. You can't pick up your phone and get an app and get like 10 meals delivered to your house. You got an extreme case. It's been going on for years. You're going to need a lot of people to help you just to get this under control, if it gets under control. But no more of this crap.
Fruits and vegetables. Has vitamins A, E, B, C. Yeah, and it has tomato and all kinds of fruit. I like that it has tomato in there because I love tomato juice. So let me just pour this into a glass of ice. And let's eat. Give you guys a beauty bite. I want to try these onion rings.
This ain't no. Can we stop that too? Let's not call this a beauty bite anymore, because there's nothing beautiful about that bite. There's nothing beautiful watching somebody who has BED get on camera and gorge themselves stupid and make themselves unhealthy and make a video where they're looking for people to enable them and to fund their habit. Nothing beautiful about that. Fuck that shit. Nothing beautiful. It's disturbing. And thank you, YouTube, for putting the squash on this crap. Seriously, thank you.
The sauce. This is like a Thousand Islands sauce. So, all right. Let's dip. Beauty bite.
No, it ain't.
They're good. It's actually a really good juice. You taste like hints of tomato with like berry. It sounds gross, but it's actually really good. All right, so we're going to put some chili on these little nuggets. They're not nuggets, they're like chicken strips, I guess.
And
bye. They're lightly seasoned. Very good. So there's a lot of crazy things going on in the world today. And one of those things I happened across.
oh, by the way, before she even says anything, so it's very strange. She's sitting there eating a fast food meal, right? This is supposed to be a mukbang video. What a freeze frame. You know what? Never mind. I was going to use that for my thumbnail, but nobody wants to see food go in and out of her mouth, so screw that. Before she gets into it, strangely enough, like in the middle of eating a fast food meal, she talks about something that happened recently, something of a violent nature. I don't know why she decided it was a good idea to talk about this while eating, like how the two relate to each other, but she does. So to give you a brief summary of what happened before she even opens her big mouth, I watched this video of what she was saying. There is something that happened where there is a YouTuber that he makes prank videos. And he went to a mall and he approached a delivery driver in the mall. And he approached this person in a harassing, threatening manner, like getting in the guy's face, putting his phone in the guy's face. And the guy freaked out because this guy's doing a prank video. He doesn't know it. All he knows is he's got this bigger guy approaching him along with another guy coming after him. And the guy puts the phone in his face, and the guy's like, no, stop, and pushes him away more than once. And then the delivery driver in question, like he whipped out a firearm and shot him in the mall. Now, I am not saying that that was a correct thing to do. Like, nobody should be shooting anyone. But the man felt very threatened. He didn't know that it was just a simple prank video. All he knew was he was a delivery driver. He was making his delivery. And here's this guy in his face, threatening him, harassing him. And he reacted in a very extreme way. I did some further research on it. So the case did go to court, and the guy was not put in jail. The jury found in his favor. And this guy who makes prank videos, he says he's going to continue to do prank videos despite that happening. You would think that YouTuber would have learned his lesson and said, things are getting really real. This could really happen again. But he's going to continue to make prank videos despite the fact that somebody shot him in response to feeling threatened and harassed. That's another thing that YouTube should get rid of. And TikTok too. Anybody doing prank harass videos where people are being harassed or threatened, they shouldn't allow that either, because it's a hard world out there, y'all. A lot of people going through things. If you're doing prank harassment videos, you don't know the person that you're approaching. You don't know what they're going through. You don't know their mental state. You don't know if they're stressed out. You don't know how they're going to react to you. Like, why put the pressure on? You're putting yourself in harm's way potentially. But a lot of people are just running around doing anything to become viral and doing things for clout they really shouldn't be doing. There's another case, and I'm going to bring this up. So there is a guy, his name is Johnny Somali, that he was a YouTuber. He was over in Japan harassing the Japanese people, really being out of pocket, and things happened to him because he was really just doing the most. There's just too many people that are concerned with clout and views and subscribers. It's like, where is the line anymore? Where's the line? A lot of people going through things these days. And again, you're approaching somebody, you're harassing them, you're almost threatening them. They feel threatened. You don't know what they're going to do. You don't know how they're going to react. You can walk away unharmed or get harmed, but you just don't know. But she's about to talk about that case right now.
It's super crazy. A YouTuber was shot, by a food delivery employee.
Again, I don't know why she's bringing this up during an eating video. Why are you going to include food content and something violent that happened together? Like, how does that mix? Well, how does it mix? All the things in the world to talk about, and you're going to talk about that. You're going to bring something negative into your food video. Other mukbangers don't do that. They just focus on the food. So let's just pick something off the internet that is negative to talk about, foodie.
West Virginia recently. So a young lad by the name of Alan Colley was picking up some food for his delivery. So normal every day for him, going to work, thinking his day will be uneventful, not thinking he would be harassed by a couple of troublemaking YouTubers who are trying to get views and clout. Off of his harassment. So what happened was these two YouTubers, I think the name of the YouTube channel is like Common Goons or something like that. I don't remember. Anyway,
You know, her including this information in the video, I'm just sitting here thinking about it as I talk to you guys. I'm wondering if she's like trying to uh link that to her video to maybe get some extra views or something. Like, why bring this up? This is what happened with these people had nothing to do with the kind of content she's doing. It's like she's trying to attach herself to anything to get those views up. If she wanted to talk about this, she could have talked about it in a separate video away from the food. But she's all about, let me just tag my videos with many different tags, trying to put myself in as many algorithms as possible. Desperation much, foodie? Are you figuring out that people are getting bored with you? They're not watching your videos and your lives as much. Your super chats have gone down. You're at the point now where you're buying likes and subs, and I prove that. I've shown y'all Social Blade. I've shown you Playboard. She's desperate to find any way to get people interested, when the solution is very, very simple. All she has to do is make quality, positive content. So incredibly simple. Hungry Fat Chick is doing it. Why can't she do it? Hungry Fat Chick's channel is twice the size of Foodie's. Yet even Hungry Fat Chick said, screw a bunch of this noise. I'm not going to hurt myself with food anymore. I'm going to fix this problem. I'm going to get healthy. And she's doing it. She's lower in weight than Foodie. And she's healthier and she's happier. Applause all day long for Candy. But Foodie is still using desperate, pathetic means to get views. Even using things that have nothing to do with her as tags. All she's got to do is make positive content away from food. But of course, some of the people in Foodie's chat, the people who are feeders, they're going to disagree, of course, because they want their fetish fulfilled. They'll come in her chat. They'll talk about food. They'll keep her mind fixated on food. Nobody should be encouraging an addict to do the source of their addiction. And I know it's weird for some people to imagine that food can be as dangerous or as lethal as an illegal drug, but trust me, it is. It is. Anything in life can be abused. Anything. Even things that you think are just not harmful. A non-harmful thing can become harmful real quick if you become obsessed with it or addicted to it. Food included. Food included. That's why you need help. That's why treatment is essential. That's why it's nothing shameful to ask for help and get help. Because life and living are worth it. If you're somebody's sister, somebody's brother, somebody's uncle, somebody's aunt, somebody's grandmother, somebody's daughter or son, you're here and you're worth it. It's worth it to try. It's worth it to reach out. You're worth it. What you don't do is glorify something that's wrong and let it continue.
not important. And this YouTuber's name is Tanner Cook, and he actually was filming a video in this food center in Dulles, Virginia. If I'm saying that right, I don't know. Dulles. And do you guys love onion rings with whatever? What's your favorite onion ring sauce?
Nobody cares about the fucking onion rings, Foodie. And it's so stupid that you decided to talk about this while gorging yourself stupid. I don't get it. Look, I know you need topics of conversation during your videos, there are other things to talk about, positive things. Why don't you bring that up? Why not talk about your time in Thailand? Positive things. Even if you got to make them up, you do anyway. Half your story times are lies. Why not make up a positive story? Keep the positive vibe all the way through. Now you're going to bring up this disturbing thing while eating onion rings. And you wonder why your videos tank.
I still say zesty sauce from Burger King takes the win.
Who cares? It's fast food. Shut up.
So he's in this food center, and his like video was like to harass people, I guess, and
Yeah, and that's not okay. It's not okay for, I don't care if you're a YouTuber or not, it's not okay for someone to go up and harass somebody for no reason. Even if your motivation is, I want to be a big YouTuber and I want views and I'm pranking people. The thing is, the people you're pranking, they don't know they're being pranked. All they know is, here's this person approaching me in a threatening way. And they might react in a non-violent way. They may react in a violent way. Again, I'm not justifying violence. I'm not encouraging or on board with anybody whipping out a firearm and shooting anybody. But again, this is a tense world. You don't know what people are going through. You don't know their mental state. They might have mental issues. You're approaching a complete stranger and approaching in a threatening way. They might react in whatever way. And it shouldn't, harassing anybody, pranking people for views, for clout. Nah, YouTube or TikTok or whatever form should not put up with that.
real life, get a reaction and get views. He has like 56,000 or something subscribers on his channel. So he's in Mr. Colley's face, all up in his face, playing this like,
Yeah, YouTube, do your job and get rid of people like that. While you're cleaning house and you're saying no more content of, glorifying eating disorders, get rid of that content too while you're at it. Clean house completely. Take out the broom and get busy. Really clean that house. Any harmful content, get rid of it. Demonetize it. If you're going to clean house, do it all.
playing lewd. You know how you have that like voice translator and you can make it say things? He had this like this voice robot thing on his phone, saying really lewd and disgusting things to the food delivery guy, and the food delivery guy's like, stop, leave me alone, and he's like backing away. You can tell he's uncomfortable. He's not laughing. He's looks kind of like distressed a bit, like he's like, like his defenses are up. Well, his defenses go full force when he pulls out a gun and shoots the YouTuber in the abdomen. So we have a YouTuber shot, and so many opinions are going around back and forth.
Yeah. Again, talking about this case while she's eating. How does that make for an appealing meal? Even if I were somebody that I'm not a reactor to foodie, if I were just somebody bouncing around on YouTube as I do, and I'm looking for mukbang videos and I watch this one, this would turn me off to her channel. I'd be like, what the fuck is she talking about? Why are we discussing this now? I mean, her setup sucks. Looks unappealing. That's number one. She's not making interesting conversation. She's making disturbing conversation. So why would anybody sub to that? If you're looking for a mukbanger, why sub to that? You're bringing up something very negative and disturbing at the same time you're eating onion rings. Not something I'd sub to.
Surprisingly, there's so many people who were like, yay, like he got what he deserved. It was self-defense. The guy snapped. And on the other hand, some people say, under no circumstances should you shoot someone. At least not for what transpired. Like, people think his reaction was inappropriate to the circumstances.
You know what the disturbing part about that case is? Considering the fact that the YouTuber in question, the one who got shot, his way of thinking was probably, this is great, man. More publicity for me. I'm going to get more views out of this. Because he did say after the incident that he was going to continue to do prank videos. You would think that would teach him a lesson and make him just stop and pause and think, you know, like what could happen the next time? Maybe rethink his content and how he approaches people, but he's going to continue. It didn't scare him. He's looking at it as a bump up in views and clicks and likes, and I'm just going to keep going. Just obsessed with that YouTube fame and that YouTube money. This is why YouTube needs to clean house and stop anybody from doing harmful content of any kind. Just the obsession with clout and views and likes and money is just, it's off the chain right now.
So they went to court. Tanner Cook is alive and well, but he's very cocky. I saw a clip where he was like, I'm still going to make videos. I'm going to still make videos. Hasn't learned anything from this.
Well, you know what? Neither of you. Neither of you. Because when you had your channel and you lost your channel the first time, when YouTube said, bye, what did you do? You were begging and pleading to get your channel back. Begging YouTube, making all kinds of promises, saying, I'll do better. I promise I'll do better. You're making all kinds of promises to your subscribers too for better quality content. That never happened. Then when YouTube gave your channel back, you continued doing more of the same, if not worse. You were worse. Because you were walking around thinking you were untouchable. That whatever you did, YouTube was going to forgive you and keep it going. That was a fail on YouTube's part. I mean, they've gotten rid of smaller channels for less. And those people never got their channels back, but for some reason, they gave you your channel back. And you continued with the bullshit content and the bullshit behavior. They gave you that second chance and you ruined it, Foodie. And they're not taking your channel away. They're just saying, we're not going to let you do the same kind of content you normally do. So find something different. And you're yelling and kicking and screaming over there because you want to continue to be lazy and harm yourself on camera and look for those who back it up and support you. If you're an addict, I support the person who's the addict getting help. I support the person who's the addict being in recovery. I support an addict who reaches out for help, that they reach that point where they hit the wall and say, I can go no further. That what's going on is hurting me. I know it's hurting me, and I'm going to turn this thing around. But I do not support people who are addicts, that they're looking for a way to continue the bullshit in view of the public, exploiting what's wrong with them versus treating what's wrong with them. And that's all she wants to do, is exploit what's wrong with her and share it with people and possibly trigger people with her content. In fact, she has triggered people. I've seen her comments before. People talking about their binge eating disorders or Anna. And back in the day when she was exploiting the subjects of domestic violence and sexual assault, subjects that she exploited repeatedly over and over and over again, making money off those things, And people were getting triggered left and right. She didn't stop. She didn't say to herself, I'm hurting people. I'm bringing up old memories. I'm really just affecting people. She doesn't care how she affects anyone, about anything she talks about. She cares about her bottom line, and she'll do anything and she'll say anything to increase her bottom line, even if it means hurting other people or hurting herself.
And actually, Alan Coley was acquitted of charges.
Right?
Of, I think it was like aggravated injury or something like that. Oh my gosh, let's try this burger. Enough yapping. So it has a lot of pickles.
Who cares? We don't care about the pickles. Move on.
That's what I like about it. Look at the pickles.
Why are you showing us the food? Stop that. It's a burger. Is this for the fucking feeders? Look, it's a burger. Are you getting paid for this shit? Is that why you have to show off the food? Cut it out.
And 2 huge beef patties. I don't know why I'm craving a lot of beef. I haven't had it in a while, so I got a double cheeseburger this time. Normally I get like a single. Anyway, here we go, beauty bag.
Is that halal? I don't think it's halal. Not that you care. Not that it matters at this point if it's halal or not. She still shouldn't be eating on camera.
Mmm. Very large. Mmm.
Where's my pillow? I'm falling asleep watching her. This is boring. Like, she just doesn't get it. Even if you were a regular mukbanger, it's not about eating the food. It's not about doing a video where you're showing people that you can stuff your mouth as full as you can possibly get it. Mukbanger is when you sit down with some food, it's tantalizing, it's appealing. People look at it and say, wow, that looks good. I wish I could eat that. It's about describing the food to where even if the person isn't there, they get a good idea of how it would taste. Maybe if you're somebody watching a mukbanger and you're in one part of the world and you're seeing somebody eat food in another part of the world, if you might be traveling to that place, you might be thinking, I'm going to be going there soon. I'd like to try that. Or maybe you're someone looking around to see where there are interesting places to eat good food, and you might be looking at mukbangers to kind of research those places for you. No, she's getting on camera and stuffing her face. Getting her mouth so full she can't even close her lips. It's gross. It's absolutely gross. So it's not even about the mukbang. It's not even about the food. And the food is the star. No, she's all about the feeder content and exploiting what's wrong with her on YouTube. And I want to be so freaking happy when she has to stop this kind of content.
So my opinion is,
Nobody asked for it.
even if the guy felt threatened, I don't think that it escalated. I don't think that the situation escalated enough to warrant being shot in the abdomen and like attempted murder.
Look, again, I am not advocating or agreeing with somebody shooting another person but I watched the video, and the YouTuber, he was approaching this man in a very threatening way, harassing this man, and the guy told him 2 times to stop pushing his phone away, and the guy did not stop. He just kept getting in his face and approaching him, so I can understand why that man felt afraid and threatened. He's got 2 men approaching him, 2, not just 1, 2. Maybe he felt scared. Maybe he felt threatened. He didn't know what was going on. I don't know if he had mental issues. You're a stranger approaching another stranger. You don't know what's going to pop off. So he reacted in a very extreme way. That's why you can't sit there and run around as a stranger approaching other strangers and get in their face like that. You don't know how people are going to react. You don't know what they're going to do. And this guy who did that, he's not learned his lesson yet. He's like, I'm going to continue to do videos, especially now because I got more views and attention out of it. It's a really warped way of thinking. You're going around scaring and harassing people. You shouldn't be doing that on YouTube or Twitch or TikTok or any other forum.
Murder. I think the guy is being charged with discharging a weapon in public, and his lawyers are trying to get that overturned, claiming that it was self-defense. But I mean, yeah, these YouTubers that play pranks on people and, you know, use people in public.
You know what's really messed up about this case is that gentleman who reacted, he was just a guy like doing a delivery, going about his life, just trying to make some money. And here's this complete jerk from YouTube, like getting in his face. And then all this stuff happened because the guy got in his face. And all the other guy cares about is clicks and views.
Like, for their pranks and everything. I think that's, I don't like that. I mean, you're at risk of pushing someone to the edge. You know, not everyone is comfortable with being on camera. Not everyone is going to have a reaction that you expect. Or, I mean, I think they were expecting to peeve the guy off and get a reaction, but, you know, you got more than you bargained for, kind of thing. But I don't think the guy, like, deserved to be shot over that. So the fact that he was acquitted of all charges, like, relating to the shooting, like, actually shooting somebody, I mean, the guy didn't even, I mean, the YouTuber didn't even push him or anything violent. It was just, like, in his face. It was in his face and kind of threatening.
No, I watched the video. He was in the guy's face, putting his phone in his face, and it looked very threatening to me. Like, very much in the vein of intimidation. I could, maybe the guy was scared. And he reacted in a very extreme way. And again, we live in a world now where you got to be careful. You just don't know what's going to happen. That's why you should always approach somebody with respect, and you can't sit there and be so consumed with YouTube views and clout and attention that you throw caution to the wind and say, I just want the views. I want the attention. I don't care what happens. Well, if you don't care, you don't care, but you can't count on the kindness of people to save you from extreme reactions. Sometimes they happen. The YouTuber in question, he got an extreme reaction, and it didn't make him pause and say, wow, I mean, it can get to this level, and make him rethink doing different videos, perhaps different content. He's going to continue to prank people and It may happen again or may not happen again, but it just, he's just going to push on with the kind of content that he does, and YouTube should not allow it. You're encouraging someone through profit to continue bad behavior where people are getting pranked and harassed and intimidated. That shouldn't be allowed.
But I don't know. Maybe the guy freaked out. Maybe he has mental illness issues. We don't know. I mean, I don't know. To me, the guy kind of resembled the guy from, what's his name? From Terminator and Pet Sematary 2.
You know, I honestly don't think Foodie cared about this incident and this case. A, she needed something to talk about during this video. B, again, she's just looking to attach herself to something that happened that a lot of people know about, so she can put the tags on her video so that those who might be searching for information about that incident, her video will be included in that algorithm. So although this disturbing thing happened, this very disturbing thing, and it is disturbing, she's going to try to find a way to profit off of it. But that's on par with Foodie.
Was the guy taking his YouTube video too far? Yeah. You don't get in people's face and start like playing obscenities to harass people.
And you know, thinking about it, the hypocrisy of it all, the absolute hypocrisy in what she's doing and what she's saying right now. When you think about all the things that she's done and all the things that she said on her YouTube channel, that she's being a complete hypocrite. Again, I am not saying that the actions of either one were right. Absolutely not. But just think about all the things that she's done in the years she's been on YouTube, the ways that she's triggered people, the way that she's exploited things, the way that she's provoked people, poking at people, poking at the reactors, talking about the reactors, exploiting tragedies that happened, the school shooting for attention. I will never, ever forget, Foodie, how after the school shooting, you posted a big, huge, blown up picture of one of the grieving mothers of a child that passed away on your community post. You disgusting, foul beast. And we'll also never forget that moment where she did the live stream where she was drunk and out of her mind. And she was playing the Pumped Up Kick song and doing the finger guns. And she was being, shall we say, aggressive with Pete's, intimidating him, forcing a kiss on him. That was disturbing too. That's just an example of some of the things that she's done on top of the other things that we know about. Doing all that for views, doing all that for attention and clicks. And her talking about this case and saying, what he did was wrong. Yeah, it was, and it is. But haven't you been doing the same shit on YouTube for years and getting away with it? Yeah, you have. And now you've arrived at a place where you're in Thailand, maybe going home to Kuwait, maybe coming back to Canada. But you run out of ideas on how to piss people off. You've shown us everything. You've shown us every part of your body. You've come on camera, blitzed out of your mind, doing drugs on camera, eating, exploiting the subjects of DV and SA, exploiting your own eating disorder. What's left? You hit the wall. You hit the wall a while ago. And so you decided you had to go the other way and cosplay something that you're not. Instead of being immodest, be modest, because that would be shocking for a minute. Always looking to be something you're not, or exploit something horrible to make money versus doing positive content. Now you arrived at a place where you're so burnt out, you don't know what to do. And you're pissed off because YouTube is saying, we're not going to pay you to hurt yourself on camera. You're kicking and screaming about that, and I don't care. It should have happened a long time ago. They should have shut you down years ago. But I'm glad it's finally happening. And I hope they go through all of your content, and anything that has to do with you eating, they remove it or they demonetize it. Foodie did say long ago that if she couldn't make money on YouTube, that she wouldn't do videos. Well, we'll see. We'll see. Or if she's going to try to find some loophole, some workaround to where they will allow her to still be on YouTube and do stuff with food. Don't put up with it, YouTube. Don't.
It's not funny. It's not cool. And it might have actually scared him. In the end, I don't think people have the right to just go around and shoot people because someone gets in your face.
Something that kind of relates to that, something that kind of popped in my mind just now. Foodie, here's something to think about. So you'll turn anything and anyone into content. You go out in public and you constantly put your camera in people's faces. You don't ask for consent, you just do it. You're desperate to make interesting content. But here's something to think about. If you're out in public and you're putting your camera on people and putting your camera in people's faces, you don't know how they're going to react. You might want to think about that. You just never know. You never know what's going to happen. You want to talk about privacy all the time? I think you should respect other people's privacy. Because when you put people on camera, you don't know what they're thinking. You don't know what they're going to do. But you should be more mindful of your content. Mindful of other people. Respect other people. YouTuber or not, don't film people without their consent. Because you don't know how they're going to react to that. Knock on wood, you've been lucky thus far, but you just never know. Going out into the world, being around strangers. I'm not saying being paranoid about it. I'm saying being careful about it. Not everybody wants their faces on YouTube. They don't want themselves or their family members on YouTube. Just something to think about.
Actually, that's a very huge burger, a lot of meat. I'm unable to finish it. My favorite was
Liar. Chantal, we've seen you put massive amounts of food away. Are you trying to do this thing now where you're going to buy a small amount of food, put it in front of you, and that's your defense against YouTube saying this isn't a binge? And even play acting and saying, I'm going to leave half my burger here to act like you're not binging. And then after the camera's turned off, you're going to finish that and you're probably going to order another meal. Look, anything you're trying to do to throw YouTube off, it ain't going to work. You're on borrowed time. The clock is ticking. Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. November 1st, the policies are going to change. And there's plenty of videos out there with you coming out of your mouth saying you have binge eating disorder. You have a problem with food that is out of control. And it's something that started way before YouTube. So you can't look at YouTube and say, if you don't let me eat on camera, then you're to blame if it gets worse. No, they're not. They absolutely aren't. They are not responsible for your hurts. You can't put this on YouTube. You can't put it on the reactors. You can't put it on your audience. You can't do that shit of guilting other people or companies for what's wrong with you when you're an adult and it's your responsibility to fix your shit. If you care enough, you will. And you should. This should not continue. Not just, it would help you, but if you're stopping this kind of content, obviously it would help your viewers too. They don't need to see this kind of content either. You want to eat, do it off camera. Be mindful of what you eat. Seek therapy and inpatient. You need it. You really, really need it. But nobody should be looking at you and saying, this is correct behavior. It's not. If you have an addiction, if you have a disorder, it needs to be treated. You need help. You should seek help. Again, no embarrassment, no shame in asking, in reaching out for help. It's there for a reason. Make use of it. Get the healing started. Don't look at someone like Foodie and say, this is how I should be. This is what I should do. No, absolutely fucking not. She's an addict exploiting her addiction. And now it's at an extreme level where her food bill is between $4,000 to $6,000 a month. And she's got health problems all over the place. That's not normal. It is not normal. Nobody should be encouraging this. And for anybody on her channel that says, I'm here because I like Foodie. I like her personality. And I'm here to support her. You can support her without funding the habit. You can send messages of support for free. That's showing support. You can support the addict without supporting the addiction. The addiction should not be supported nor funded. It should be healed. That's the way it should be handled.
was the onion rings. They were crunchy and seasoned and delicious with the sauce. Anyways, guys, I guess that's it. I just wanted to share that little bit of news I saw. I'm sure a lot of you have seen it. Maybe some of you haven't. Feel free to share your, respectful thoughts in the comments, and I will see you in the next video.
Maybe, maybe not. Anyway, so I've calmed down a bit. And for anybody that comes to my videos looking for something calm, I apologize for all the ranting, but I just had to get all that stuff off my chest. I had a lot of things to say. I promise I'll be calmer in the next ones, but I'm sick of Foodie's attitude. The comment that was left on her video, it was disturbing and it got me fired up. And before I leave here, again, if you're someone and there's something wrong, please reach out for help. If something is overwhelming, you reach out for help. There are resources. Do a search online. There are hotlines to help you with whatever it is you need. There are phone numbers. There are people that are counselors that will help you. If you can't go to a static location nearby and local, there are things you can do remotely. Just tell a family member, tell a friend. Get the process of healing started. It's worth it. You're worth it. Life is worth it. And my prayers are for anyone going through anything right now that's hurting you. Please seek out those who can give aid. And with that said, I'm going to end the video. Hope you all have a great day, and I'll see you guys later.